Hey, this is B-Dub, and welcome to a new episode of Clearing Out My Head. You know, who is the greatest American summer Olympian of all time? Well, the country voted, and the winner is, of all people, of course, swimmer Michael Phelps with 19% of the vote. Simone Biles finished a close second at 16%. Jesse Owens came in third with 9% of the vote. And a little further down the trough, Caitlyn Jenner got 3%. But the most actual votes went to Not Sure. He or she got 33%. So people weren't really sure who the greatest American summer Olympian was of all time. Makes sense, but I mean, Michael Phelps and Simone Biles, those two definitely are up there. And I think a lot of it is the fact that people are going by these past few, Olympics from the past, 5 or 10 years. So that's why those names are up there when it comes to that. So, but in another poll, 40% of Americans say they watch both team and individual sports equally, while 14% prefer individual, and 10% like team sports, but 30% prefer neither. So if 30% prefer neither, does that mean they're just not watching the Olympics, I guess? I mean, that's the only thing I could think of. I mean, I enjoy both of them, and actually it was the funniest thing because this past Olympics, the one sport that intrigued me the most that I never watched before in my whole life until this past Olympics, Summer Olympics, was rugby. And I got hooked from watching it. I had to watch every match. I mean, the greatest thing about the way the Olympics is set up now is the fact that with, having it on streaming services, or like it was on Peacock, you could watch past, stuff that, you missed live, you could go back and watch. So I think it's really amped up, with these streaming services when it comes to the Olympics, because you can see all these events that you would normally miss. And so I was so intrigued with rugby that I started following the American Rugby League. I think that's what it's called. Right after the Olympics, and I was watching it, and I could tell that the differences with the rules when it comes to the Olympic version and these rugby league versions, because they kind of, I wouldn't say toned it down for the Olympics, but they made it where it was more fast-paced and quicker compared to the rugby leagues. And so you could tell, but it still was intriguing. It was still something that was fun to watch. And unfortunately, I don't know where the closest rugby team is to me, since I'm in Ohio. I think there might be one in Indiana. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on anything. But yeah, I would love to go see it live just to check it out. But that's the one Olympic sport that I really got into this past Olympics. So it's pretty cool. So, I mean, I've always enjoyed, like with the Summer Olympics, I enjoyed the gymnastics, and actually the 3-on-3 basketball was pretty cool this year too. I hadn't seen that played out before, so that was actually neat to watch that. I mean, it got a little boring at times depending on what it was, but again, it just depends. But yeah, it's, when it comes to the Summer Olympics, the gymnastics and the swimming is always the big one. But like I said, I really got into the rugby when it came to this last one, so that's pretty cool. But anyways, thanks for listening to this episode of Clearing Out My Head. Don't forget you can listen to Clearing Out My Head on all major podcasting platforms. Also, you can check out my podcast page on Spotify where you can listen to past episodes. Check out my social media links or leave me a message. But until next time, this is B-Dub. Thanks for listening, and I hope you join me next time as I continue with Clearing Out My Head.
That's it, we're gone.
We are done.
Gang, show's over.
It ain't over yet.
Oh, yes, it is.
That was the whole show.
See you next time.
Bye.